Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Against the Storm, where we've had a little bit of a rough start, I think, with this area. It was difficult to earn those first few reputation points, but at this point, I think we got a solid base. We're on our way to a reputation point over here when we finish off the Blight Rock Cauldron thing in 3 minutes. We're very close to another order turn-in, and we got a couple more that are just like, this one's just a matter of a little bit of time. This one is also just a matter of time, right? We can pack up almost anything to make that work. We can start generating some oil. Like, I'm confident. I'm confident we're going to be okay here. So, let's let these guys do their thing to the cauldron and figure out what is next. What is the next thing to focus on? Our hostility level is pretty high. We've hit hostility 3, which means we have rot from the sky active. Global food production slowed by 15% per hostility level, completely uncounterably. That's very unfortunate. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do about that. We do have, fortunately, some more places where we can harvest vegetables from. It's very important that we opened up this clearing. We don't have... I mean, we kind of have... We have the raw materials for this stuff, right? Yeah, we should put some people on coat production. Is this... It's a comfort thing. If I could get another harpy on that, we could... yeah, like these woodcutters. These don't all need to be harpies. We can probably push harpies total resolve to the point where I can get them back over the blue line. And we had them over not too long ago. Okay, we have the last trade route already running. It's just a matter of waiting for it to finish. And so the next thing to focus on, actually using the drizzle water to make oil, I think is going to be helpful. Yeah, we can use vegetables, and I mean, I guess I'm going to turn everything on, just like, do what you got to do. Let's get some people in here. We're not going to bother with the skewers. If we could make jerky, that would be great, but I don't think that's likely to happen. We have a trapper camp somewhere, right? Maybe I'm misremembering. I thought we did. No, we don't. Okay. So actually, that stuff's never going to happen either. I'll probably just turn that recipe off then to avoid them grabbing a bunch of wood to put in the house. But let's go ahead and generate, at the very least, some oil here. And... we don't have the pipes to connect it up. Shoot. Yeah, that's a little inconvenient, and I don't... do we have smelting? I don't remember. I should probably uncheck these. I actually definitely don't want to make barrels or scrolls right now. Those are all resources. They're going into the codes. That's fine. Alright, we got a while before... we're hitting the next storm season. Let's just try to generate a little bit of reputation from resolve. Oh, right, we're in real time. I was like, why is this taking so long? It's because I was not playing on ×3 the way we generally do. Yeah, the kiln still doesn't really have anything to do. Do I want to try to... Let's see here. We're 3 minutes away from Soher showing up. Luxury items, blueprints for alchemical buildings. He might have pipes. It's hard to say. Be a tough guess. Do we know any other buildings that use drizzle water? We really don't, right? It's not a very common type of processing. All right, well, we don't necessarily have to fulfill this, right? I'm just trying to figure out which like 3 more challenges we can pull off, because it would be nice. All right, meat-based complex foods give 2 more resolve. That's probably not a thing we're going to be able to take advantage of, but greater yields from things, I think, probably are. And this is a comfort building for us. Do we want to? I guess I can wait a second until this is done. We'll have some extra lizards on hand at that point. We can probably pull some people, like, yeah, we're probably done making packs. Do we have? We probably won't be using water from this fast enough to need 2 people working on it anymore. And there we go. You can see that's adjusted the average resolve among the lizard population upward enough to gain us a whole point. This is going to be 35 coats and some stuff we can burn to keep the fire going. Feel pretty okay about that. For some reason, that seems to have caused a decrease in lizard happiness. I can't imagine why. Alright, new blueprints. I don't think we need any of this stuff, right? We already have recipes for, yeah, the vast majority of these things. I guess we just reroll? You know, the green brew is not, it's not useless. It's far from useless. Religion is not a need we have a ton of use for overall, like it's on the humans, but the green brew itself lowers hostility by like 100 points. That's a whole level. Yeah, let's work on a monastery. Just tuck it right in here. I mean, I don't want to completely block off access for those poor herbalists. Yeah, and I don't know, again, I don't know if it needs to be fully within the hearth zone. You would think it probably wouldn't light up the hearth zone if it didn't need to. This is movable. We can just do this. Try to clear some of that stuff out. We'll just put a monastery down right there. Okay, I would love to get our hostility level down below 3 for the storm, so that we're not looking at rot from the sky. And remember, one way to do that is simply to cut woodcutters, like even temporarily. That'll work. All right, so we have a slight shortage of tools for returning all of our packs. Do we have any more? I think this is the only one of these like supply caches that we have left right now, right? So yeah, my thinking is after the storm ends, we probably want to just open up one more of these dangerous glades, and hopefully it'll have the events that we need to push ourselves over, and that'll help us finish Master of Exploration as well. Where is my other woodcutter camp? Because we do have 2, don't we? No, I never built a second one on this one. Okay. Stonecutters, sadly, just don't have anything more to cut. Alright, well. Let's free you 2 up then. And yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of what we're doing here is just kind of like waiting for the next winter to run out. Okay, first of all, got ourselves a new point of reputation there. Still no like smelting, right? Which I think is the thing we still we still would be pretty eager to have on hand. Yeah, we just cannot find it. All right, before I spend any more resources, before I spend any more amber, let's have a look at what you have brought for us. So, fuel consumption down, clearance duration up, storm duration down. That's cool. And a whole bunch of goods. But sadly, none of this stuff is like quite what we need. Like, none of this directly does anything for us, right? We can get some leisure on some people, but it won't help us fulfill any goals. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's good in the sense that it helps us push resolve levels. We're gonna need more bricks for the buildings we're building, and I don't know for sure how many bricks we have. I think I am going to pay to shorten the storm. Hopefully the last storm. And then, like, do I want to just buy resolve for... Because, like, we have the building that turns the training gear into happiness for the lizards. Why not just go ahead and buy some? And then we'll throw in, like, a little bit of sea marrow or something, right? Like, yeah. Okay. Handy. Yeah, I really wish Sother had more food stuff. Okay, if we can just get 3 people to work in here, that'll pull our hostility level down, which will push our resolve levels up. This herbalist camp needs to be moved. Alright, you're still working those mushrooms. I think we're just about out of... Yeah, we're just about out of herbalism nodes, sadly. We can get this berry bush, which this one does not cover. And I think that's the best we can possibly hope for there. We are managing to wring an awful lot of resolve out of our reputation level here, actually. I'm a little surprised at how effective that's been. I think at this point we can probably... Yeah, they have 20 oil in there already. I think I'm a little worried about our food levels. I guess they're trending upward. We have a reasonable supply. Still, I might pull people. We have plenty of sea marrow. Yeah, and sea marrow burns before the current prioritization has sea marrow burning before oil. So we'll hold on to the oil that they've already made. And they're already running deliveries. I guess, do I need to put, like, keep one person on, uncheck the recipe just to make sure that the stuff actually gets delivered? And our small fishing hut has finished the pond up here. Are there any ponds left? This is a geyser. There's a big pond that the fishing hut can't work, and we'll just put it over there in case we end up with an upgrade to the design. But yeah, at this point, I think we're mostly waiting for the storm to pass so that we can crack into another glade and see if that solves the rest of our problems. So I'm going to pull people up here. We're going to have them focus on this kind of general area, you know, make this wall thinner. And for the moment, everybody's fine. Good enough, anyway. So we'll crack into this and then also into just a small glade somewhere. We'll finish whatever event is here. That'll get us one of the 2 points we have remaining, plus people rising to non-storm resolve levels, I think, should allow us to get another point of reputation from Resolve that we probably won't need to make any of the rest of this happen. And that's all assuming that the dangerous glade event itself doesn't give us any reputation, which it very well may. Or like if a trader showed up with some tools, we could run that cache of goods from the other clearing back home or whatever. All right, I'm gonna change my emphasis a little bit here. All right, new cornerstone, 3 packs of provisions with every new villager, or villagers with leisure need fulfilled. Okay, well, we're not getting a lot of that done, so. All right, quickly, friends. Okay, we can pull that guy. Let's change our favoring behavior here. Yep, a bunch of our camps are just running out of meaningful deposits, which is scary times. But yeah, favoring the harpies is going to push us over easily. Okay, so we got a river kelpie. Is that what a kelpie looks like? Legendary shape-shifting aquatic spirit. It is said that whoever acquires the kelpie's bridle will be able to control it. So we could just banish the thing. A random water geyser will appear in its place. But if we can mount it, we'll get a point of reputation. And obviously, that feels like a winner. Apparently a bunch of plant fiber. I guess you're just making the bridle? While we're working on it, villagers are under the spell of the kelpie, controlled like marionettes. Every 90 seconds, 2 random villagers stop working and blindly walk toward the kelpie, where they hallucinate until the effect is gone. Okay. We have enough spare hands around that I don't think that's a big deal. So let's just get 2 people on this. We have the resources to make this happen. This is no big deal. A bunch more abandoned caches. Fortunately, we have some more food stuff over here. So this harvester's camp. Oh wait, sorry. Harvester's camps aren't root camps. It's foragers gain roots. Yeah, we'll let them finish working on that. Eggs are trappers. And we have some meat here too, but we don't have the parts to build a camp, do we? Oh no, we totally do. Well, I mean, we're unlikely to need these parts for anything else. Where's the spot to put this? Because like this is a lot of obviously there's a lot of fertile ground over here too, but we're not going to have time to turn it into a farm. Alright, so we got people on that. I need to... Well, I'm going to let them cut these trees down. Come on, y'all. Get this stuff out of the way. Okay, and then we're going to move you over to a spot where you can push into a small, harmless glade, like this one. Okay. How long are we looking at till a trader? Okay, very, very soon. Let's throw up some favor here, and I think we are good. Yeah, the reputation plus finishing the event. We'll do it. We won't even need the order. Yep, people are being charmed by the kelpie. That's okay. We're working on corralling it. It's very easily distracted, apparently. We're all just communing with our new friend. Alright, the coats sadly are running out, and so is our overfill from the harpies, but that's okay. When we get this done, we're going to be finished with the town. And I feel like every time we hit the end of a level, it's like, look at all the space that was left in the impatience bar. But I don't feel like this really tells the story of how close you got to failing, because every time you gain a point of reputation, you lose a point of impatience. Like I was definitely worried about the trend for a while there. All right, at level 8, we have unlocked a couple new cornerstones. Yeah, no big surprise. Some new service buildings. The ranch, which can produce meat and leather and eggs, which is pretty fantastic. The smithy, one of the better sources of tools, in my opinion. A manufactory. Okay, and some new Citadel upgrades, of course, as ever. Yeah, I was getting a little worried about that one. We did not have enough pipes on hand due to a shortage of smelting ability to really take advantage of our water systems there, which is a shame. Okay, so we got ourselves a royal resupply from that particular map event. So vision and embarkation range are increased by 2 until your next settlement. 4 reserve embarkation points or 5 seal fragments. I don't remember what we need seal fragments for. Hold on, we don't have to make the choice right now. Is there a certain number of seal fragments that... Okay, you have to have 12 on hand. But we're going to get 3 seal fragments with our next settle, no matter where we put it. So we're going to make it to 12. Anyway, we don't need to take the obsidian box. I mean, the caravan wagons would allow us to make it all the way to the seal on the next settle. But I think we need to complete one extra one in order to get the seal fragments before we put down... I'm not sure exactly when it is that you pay the 12 seal fragments. Like if it's at the beginning in order to unlock the seal map, or if it's at the moment of completing the seal. So that being the case, I think we want to just run another settlement. So I guess supply package is the only one of these that makes sense. And we intend to just like put down right there. Let us quickly head back to the city and spend our upgrade supplies though. First things first. Get whatever extra payment we are entitled to. Okay, that's a cool technique. That's a cool cornerstone we need to have. And we've unlocked the big shelter. 6 residents. These are expensive, as I remember it, but definitely worth having. So win a game with at least 5 ancient tablets just sitting in your warehouse. We got there through luck. I should probably look through these and see if there are any other useful buildings that we can unlock by doing things like that, so I can actually be aiming for them instead of just lucking into them. But it's probably not a thing I want to do on camera. You know, we can spend this time a little bit better. All right. So unfortunately, we don't have enough food stockpiles to unlock any new top tier things. What are we trying to pick up next? Embarkation points. We could work toward the next hearth upgrade. We can't get it right now, but we could get this, which gives us the ability to upgrade our mines to get more ore out of them, which is definitely useful. What is this line doing? It's just giving us new things that we're allowed to take with our embarkation bonuses. And over here... Honestly, this leftmost line is kind of unimpressive in total. Oh, starting abilities. Applied immediately after a species joins your town for the first time. I didn't remember starting abilities existing at all. Looks like they're not all in this column. Okay, well, I guess we'll worry about a bunch of that stuff in the future, but basically that leftmost line feels like it's a pretty low unlock priority. So I think what I'm gonna do is grab this, not because we think the mine upgrade's particularly good, but because I want access to the other hearth upgrade, which we will totally get to eventually, someday. Do we want to grab something down here? One additional option to choose from when picking cornerstones. I do feel like that's a good idea. good cornerstones can really make a settlement so much easier. All right, and with that, we're just heading out into a new area. Have we ever settled a town on a Scarlet Orchard before? What are the effects that this has? Every Viceroy embarking on an expedition to the Scarlet Orchard is assigned a royal archaeologist. You gain access to the archaeologist's office. And there are prehistoric sites. Okay, that sounds like fun. Trees here will give wood and copper ore and dye and plant fiber. Yeah, okay. I'm into it. Let's do this right here. So, really hard to turn down a start with extra tools in it. It is one less total person, but I think it's fine. And we have so many embarkation points here. We take everything, right? We get everything this time? Everything that we have unlocked. And this is where the bones are. Turns out you can just type that. That whole thing fits in the box. All right, let's do it. I would move to where the bones are. All right, I do not remember the archaeology mechanic from the last time I played this game. I think it was in there, but I don't remember interacting with it at all. Okay, what kind of mysteries did we get this time? There are beautiful auroras. Villagers with this effect have a +1 boost to their resolve, and a stack of this effect is added every 60 seconds. But this only applies to villagers who have at least one service need fulfilled, and only during drizzle. Still, that's pretty great. Even greater emphasis on service needs here. And then travel cost of trade routes increases during the storm. That's pretty whatever. Fuel consumption in hearths is increased by 20% for each hostility level. Could see us consuming a lot of fuel really quickly. Hailstorms will kill people who don't have housing once we get to hostility 2. And eventually the eclipse, which is, hostility 6 is really something, right? I'm not too worried about that one. All right, then I guess let's have at it. I do think this is a very pretty biome. I really like the looks of the trees here. Okay, so we ended up with mostly harpies, couple of lizards. So once again, our housing needs are very cloth and brick based. Our starting clearing has... Okay, so there's some stone over here that I almost missed because it's blending into the trees. And a little, some roots to gather. Well, I guess let's start cracking into these ones behind... maybe we need to open up more space behind the hearth. Don't need it right away, but we will need it eventually. So, cut into these and maybe eventually into that. I think that makes sense. So let's just put this down, over here. All right. Yeah, get us through to that as quickly as you can. We're also definitely going to want to get brick production going, and of course food. Food is important. We have 9 people to start with. We can just do a couple of basic shelters. Big shelters are made out of planks. Yeah, I'm fine with just doing a basic, a set of 3 basics, right? This is a little awkward because we don't have quite as much room as we sometimes do between these 2 buildings, but it'll be fine. We'll put 2 shelters here, and we'll plan for a road running like this. Yeah, that's not totally ideal, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Get to work, friends. And already we're, like, out of people. Okay. Starting cornerstone. Love to see purples. Gain 2 wildfire essence for every 2 completed dangerous or forbidden glade events. These are not amazing in the early game. I suppose export specialization, like, probably at some point we'll end up making packs of goods. This is something we probably will get some value out of eventually. Yeah. Take that over the starting amber. Alright, and what are our opening orders? Well, make packs of goods. Basic housing need for 8 villagers and deliver 20 wood. I mean, this feels like a real winner, right? It's like basically free. And then here, no for real, you're gonna make some packs, damn it. Improved grain production, improved fabric production is certainly something. Versus just getting 10 amber. I mean, it's so much easier to make this work, though. I think we're going to take Rich Harvest there, complete any 2 glade events, or... Yeah, this is a much more specific thing that sometimes you can't even do, and the reward for it is actually worse than the reward for Problem Solver. We are taking Problem Solver for sure. Alright, when we fulfill that first order, this thing, we're going to get 3 more people, so we're going to need another house. We'll just put up a couple more shelters right now, I guess. Kind of wherever. Doesn't really matter where. Right here seems fine. Alright, anything extremely cool in here? Yes. Yes, there is something extremely cool in here. An event to resolve to add people to the village. So let's get... hold on. Don't assign you that just yet. Let you finish building the housing. Then we will assign you over. God, even on ×3, it does take a minute, huh? Alright, so we welcome some new people in. I think at this point we can go ahead and press this button. So that gives us enough planks to build a larger shelter if we want. We're about to end up with another 3 people on top of what we have right now. Yeah, I guess we just need to cut into the forest over here and make room for some more houses. Well, we'll get the fancy housing up eventually. Right now we don't have the tools to make a bunch of fabric. Oh, actually, okay, it hadn't taken a second to place those people yet. It turns out we will only need 1 more house right this second. Or do I want to try to go fancy from here? I do want to get this up as well as early as possible because I want to play around with it, but we're going to have to obviously get some goods refining up first. And we'll just go ahead and tack this right here. Let's try to have some stuff on hand as best we can. Make bricks out of whatever you can. fabric is going to be the sticking problem for the moment. We don't really have a way of producing fabric, and this new clearing didn't help with that. What it did help with is giving us a reason to start digging into this stuff, because it sure would be nice to have a way to take care of those farms, a way to take advantage of the fertile ground. All right, I think we're going to grab a stamping mill here. We have like constant copper ore income coming in here. I guess we just got a beaver right with that. So now we know what our food needs are. We have no overlapping flour food needs. So flour's not super exciting. Maybe we don't need to rush to the stamping mill. And we could just pick up the carpenter. We again have a setup where like jerky is theoretically very good. It's just hard to know if you're actually going to be able to produce it. Pickled goods might be meaningful. And tools. Yeah, this is tough. I'm going to take the carpenter. How many other places do we have that we know can make copper bars? I'm going to take the stamping mill. Let's get some. And then, of course, we're shown smelters and stuff. The brickyard lets us make metal out of water as well. That's probably also worth considering. Pickled goods using drizzle water is nice. Yeah. I think that makes sense. So we have access to the ranch here, which can produce some of the goods we were having trouble producing last time. The ranch is kind of unusual because it does take in like resources to use as feed to convert into meat, things like that. Like it doesn't just produce them raw. It's a weird building for sure, but like sometimes you just need these precursor goods. And the game is not always kind enough to just hand them to you. Ranch is interesting. So's the herb garden. But this is definitely not like the kind of farm we would like most. You know what? I am going to take the ranch. Okay, I think plantation is a much better kind of farm for us in this situation. And so we can just get that going right away. Okay, get all that farming done. And then I do want to punch through to at least one more glade pretty quickly. We might get lucky enough to find another glade that has a quickly doable event and just knock out Problem Solver. Let's definitely reassign one of you. Let the beaver work on the wood crew. Alright, storm's coming. Don't have enough housing. Yeah, we still don't have any fabric production. I guess I'm just going to build a little bit more shelter. That is not where that goes. What am I doing? Okay. Just making double sure that there's no reason for us not to open a glade during the storm. Okay, interesting. An herbalist's camp. And some already built comfort decorations that we can just appropriate. I will go ahead and do that. We'll just tuck these in right behind our hearth. 2 barrels, a little bit of path. And this herbalist camp does count as an event, so I think we want to rebuild that for sure. Probably not a thing we need to assign 2 people to, but that'll flip problem solver for us. And while we're at this here, I'm gonna just throw up a couple of additional barrels back here so we can get that first level up. Alright, I'll have run out of things to build, unfortunately. Once we get some plant fibers growing out of the plantation, that'll help with our fabric production. Okay, we get a really fancy one this time. So, protected trade is kind of interesting. Completing a forbidden glade event reduces hostility from glade events by some amount. I mean, it's not a huge amount of extra. It's not a huge amount of hostility reduction, right? I'm inclined to take protected trade instead. Like, this is just like net positive pretty much all the time. If you can reduce hostility by enough to bring it down a level, which doesn't necessarily always mean 100, right? Depending on like where you would naturally be at. But for it to be 100, you're going to have to sell an awful lot of goods. Yeah, I don't know. I don't honestly know which one I think is better. I guess I'm going to take secure perimeter. Alright, I don't think we're ready to work on any of that stuff just yet. Okay, there we go. That's a glade event. Also newcomers. Do we need more people or do we need more tools? My parts are certainly good too. It's hard to turn down tools though. Yeah, alright. This is a little awkward. Bring this over here. So we wanna break into a forbidden glade relatively early on to take advantage of secure perimeter, right? So where is the closest, the most accessible forbidden glade? I think it might be the one I was just mousing over. Yeah, because we want to cut through here and then from there through to there. So let's actually move this all the way up here, and hopefully this won't turn out to be a really bad idea. Alright, we got our level 1 build up already. It's pretty cool. I should probably turn in this order. Oh, I never built the other shelter over here. I'm going to hold off on this design until we open up the clearing here. Do we have the ability... I mean, I can make a beaver house. I guess this is a way we can get the fancy housing started. Because I'd like to not build any more shelters if possible. Okay, deliver coal and building materials, or just deliver 50 raw roots. I mean, that's a lot of food. Does get us population, but this gets us a service need plus 6 tools. Yeah, as much as I don't love delivering packs of building materials, That seems pretty good. Deliver 70 drizzle water for a bunch of metal and stuff, or get a lumber mill by getting reputation for a resolve to 24 on 10 beavers. This, I think, is going to be actually very challenging from our position. Water delivery is close-ish to free. This much drizzle water getting delivered all at once is going to require us to have at least 2 water tanks, but that is absolutely a thing that can happen. Alright, the Stonecutter's camp has run out already, which is a real shame. The Forager's camp also has run out of stuff to do already. Oh, except we just broke through here, so hold on. Is that still true? For one thing, Stonecutter's camp can just move in and grab a hold of... Wait, is that clay? No, that's a copper vein. Never mind. We got another kelpie. A tinctury, which produces dye and ale and wine. That's interesting. A large trapper's nest would be, or a trapper's hut would be great. Is our existing, this thing that we just rebuilt, yeah, this one's totally movable. Okay, cool. So we can pull that over to this herb node if we decide we want to do that. I think I'd rather have it gathering berries for the moment. So I guess let's hope for Trapper Camp. Okay. I think like we don't currently have a source of coats, but aside from that, I think this is kind of a whiff. Guildhouse isn't bad. And education is a need that we have 2 of. Plus 1 global resolve for every 75 amber worth of goods sold. I mean, I think this is potentially quite a powerful one. But we really need to try to find that trapper's camp to the point where I think we're not gonna pick anything here. Let's build a trading post up somewhere. It really does just need to be somewhere. Yeah, so we'll delete some of these superfluous path tiles. Move our herbalist hut over a little bit, and that'll give us room to tuck a trading post like all the way in the back here. Oh, right. Sorry. We do need the kelpie. Right. Obviously, we do need to fix the kelpie. So, have an easy enough time with the roots. This will get us 20 amber. This seems like a no-brainer. We got plenty of time left. Yeah, let's just get that done. We should also set up a plantation. Oh, this is awkward. We're going to have to cut away some trees before we can get the good set up here. I guess. Let's make that happen. Let's make that a priority. Yeah, I think that'll work. We probably will rebuild this tinctury. But they should easily have that resolved before the storm. Oh, sorry, provided that I actually press the investigate button. Yep, this forager's camp is still squawking. There's not really much for it, unfortunately. We can set up a trapper's camp over here to gather eggs for the moment, and then when we find the upgrade, we'll be able to move it on to the larger sources of eggs immediately after. All right, trader has arrived. What do we want? You have the recipe for the trapper's camp. That's rough. Okay, can we make 19? Yeah, we can make 19 happen. We can definitely trade at least 2 of our wildfire essence off, right? And then, I mean, like, it's nice to have tools for resolving events, but I am definitely not above selling a bunch of our tools. We'll have plenty of opportunity to get tools back later, but that trapper upgrade is, like, really significant right now. Also, we've already found copper veins. Like, we can build tools. We can trade off our stone, but we don't have other sources of stone or clay revealed right now, and that does make me a little nervous about running out of bricks. So I think I'm going to preserve the stone and pay with a lot of tools. So I need to get 19 of your amber. This is basically like the whole supply, right? Yeah. It's okay. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. And then we have a little bit of bonus value left over. All right. Have an egg. There you go. Actually, if I give you another egg, I could get another plank. There we go. That's a pretty close deal. Yes. And then we buy that for sure. We just go ahead and move this thing over right now. As soon as these trees are out of the way, I'm going to relocate this thing because I do think we want to open up this passage over here a little bit more. Okay. And that will let us set a plantation right in there perfectly to take advantage of the full set of farm fields. Okay. Yeah, not a bad start, I think. So now that we no longer need this to be generating our meat for us, or our trapper design, do we want to just take a thing that produces coats? Do we want to take a butcher, which we currently have? We currently have no way of making jerky. And jerky is certainly useful. Coats are still a double up. The cookhouse can produce dyes, which we would need for scrolls for education. But skewers and biscuits are both, like, kind of not... Yeah, they're not very high priorities for us. We don't have the stuff to make jerky right now. Maybe I want to prioritize coats. You know? Honestly, maybe we still want to reroll here. Like, none of this is really blowing my hair back. And we have an event running that's going to give us a ton of amber, so we can just buy some rerolls. I think it's worth waiting. Okay, somebody needs to work this. I don't know if it matters terribly who. I suppose we did get another beaver in. I could do another replacement on that one. Yep, and people are going to be charmed by the incredibly adorable Kelpie. Look at it. Who wouldn't want to just hang out with this Kelpie? Oh, right. Nobody is assigned to actually gather any of the delicious eggs. I mean, there's some amount of meat income from the egg nodes. Yeah, then I think our plan is for sure to cut into here. I don't want to actually break through until after the storm, so like right as the storm ends would be a fine time. Okay, but we are properly working on this, so we're gonna get all these extra workers back in just a moment. Yeah, and this thing's probably gonna be what's producing our dyes, so okay, there we go. That's done, and that's right. I'm sorry. We still have to wait for them to run the amber back away from the thing. All right, everybody's housed. We have a more or less functional situation here. I guess I should probably build some roads, right? We are really, really far away from everything over here. Okay. That'll make it a little easier to access. Unfortunately, base resolve levels are still super, super low. Yeah, it's a shame that we have two different species that are going toward negative numbers. Juggle this, and hopefully, yeah, we should be able to get through without actually losing any lizards. All right, unfavor you. Narrow survival. Gain one lizard. Ooh, gain one lizard for every 25 eggs produced. That's interesting. Mushroom production increases for every 25 times you do mushroom production. We don't actually have any mushrooms right now. The thing is, like, I worry that Surprise Child is going to actually end up with our population being too high. I want more control than that. Or we can get an obsidian runestone that just like dramatically increases the Ancient Hearth's resistance to corruption, which kind of feels like not very exciting. So I think I am going to take Fungal Guide here, even though we're not making use of it now. We totally could at some point in the future. All right, are we producing fabrics yet? Yeah, we have a little bit of fabric income going. I think do we want one more beaver? Yeah, I guess so. The beaver housing is the easiest to build. In terms of, like, not, you know, not being a challenge for our fabric. It's also very expensive, obviously. We probably do need a little bit more highlighted than that. Yeah, this area down here doesn't want to stay. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. Cut through all those. Get me into a fancy glade. So we have some fabric. We have some plant fiber to work with. I think we can start making housing. But it does seem to me like it's probably going to be difficult to get enough harpy housing going. So let's start on lizards. That's more lizard houses than we actually need. Whatever, it's fine. I'm sure we'll grow into it. And these pack delivery orders are almost certainly going to need to just like wait a little bit. Okay, what have we here? Large root deposits, some natural wheat fields, of course, more fertile soil. We got a pantry. We also have a lightning catcher. So the most obvious threat here is, lightning. Call down the lightning and destroy everything. We could fix this thing up, which will be very expensive. It's a situation where it might have been good to hold on to our wildfire. Okay, and we just absolutely do not have the resources for that, not even a little bit. We could burn it down, which is more realistic. Forest hostility is increased by 400 points while you're working on this effect. But once we've done so, we do actually get like a pretty useful set of tools and then a really nice perk. 2 extra tools. Yeah. 2 extra tools every time we produce tools is pretty powerful. So I am cool with burn down. We're going to have to source some oil or something. And unfortunately, we're going to have to figure out how we want to actually make any of that happen. Because we have, in theory... no, I didn't end up taking the buildings that produced oil. Okay, well, hold on. We can, at this point, take the butcher. We don't necessarily have the resources to make oil, right? Yeah, it's competing with like our plant fibers are already spoken for. The other option, of course, is buying stuff from a trader. When's our next trader due? Before the storm. Yeah, that might be the plan right now, is wait for the next trader to show up and try to have something to try to buy something to finish the burn down option here. So if that's going to be the case, we're not particularly concerned about oil. Like, oil is still a useful thing to generate. It's used in a lot of events. And we do have some meat income, not a huge amount, but maybe the butcher, yeah, I think the butcher ends up being, like, totally okay. And then... So we already have the ability to produce tools. Oh, did I not take the... I guess I passed on that. Okay, well that makes the smithy definitely compelling. Tools and pipes. Yeah, I think we'll take the smithy in that case. So let's let this run until we get the trader in, so that we can get some idea of where we're at on our ability to what do you call it? We get some idea of where we're at on our ability to deal with this. So there's a swamp wheat field that you collect with a forager's camp. And there's going to be some plant fiber in there. That seems useful. Obviously, a tremendous amount of fertile ground here. Large enough that I don't think one farm can work at all, right? No, not quite. But we could just build over 2 tiles of it, and that would be fine. Rather than having to build a second farm to cover the rest of it. Yeah, I think that's okay. Alright, and even more copper ore. This pantry is probably getting torn down. I don't know that that's terribly compelling for us. Alright, get all that stuff built. Okay, looks like we're accumulating the resources for one more lizard house, which will mean that all the lizards have fancy dwellings. Over here, we can just have a couple lizards work this. Let's check out our next set of orders. We are going to do this for sure. This is a guaranteed decent rewards, bonus plank production. Yeah. Then deliver 25 packs of trade goods or profitable trade, which is pretty familiar to us. Honestly, profitable trade has really good rewards. I think that's the winner for sure. If this ends up going off once or twice, if we end up getting the consequence, I'm not that concerned about it. You know, I don't think it's all that bad. Oh, these are big stone deposits. We should probably... I totally spaced on that. I guess we'll just put this right here, have this worked by, I don't know, somebody. Okay. Keep hacking through these trees and get this worked out somehow. They are awfully far away from that warehouse already. Oh, I really hope that our trader has some of the kinds of stuff that we need. Because if not, we're in some considerable danger here. Although I guess like turning buildings into ruins is not... It's an annoyance more than anything. Alright, Old Farlough. Where are we at here? Alright, Old Farlough has oil at the very least. And it's not very expensive. Yeah, we can do that. That is no problem at all. Do we also want to buy additional smelting or anything? Probably not, right? I'm a little worried about fabric production, so we could put some of our amber into just purchasing. In fact, maybe I just purchase all of your fabric? Then throw in some... You never have enough planks. Yeah, I don't hate that, actually. And that is going to make it much more sensible to just, like, build out a ton of harpy housing. And we can start removing some of these shelters for it, in fact. Because, yeah, we're going to need 8 of them. That's a lot of space. 2, 3... Just trying to figure out where I think stuff should even go. 4, 5... And I'm gonna delete these, I guess. I will still leave a couple of shelters up in the center of town to handle overflow. Okay. Gosh, I hope this ends up being... Yeah, we're going to be able to build all of these on this resource amount. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have deleted so much housing right before the storm. Well, whatever. We have lots of builders. They'll get stuff squared away quickly. Oh, right. Sorry, I should also, like, actually get these resources committed over here. Oh, sorry, not that. Yeah, this. Let me definitely turn off oil usage in the hearth. So we probably want to wait until after... Yeah, we want to wait until after the storm to engage an option that's going to create 400 bonus hostility. So I guess... Yeah, I guess we're just holding on for a second here. Alright, people are going to be housed by the time the storm hits. We're good, we're good. Everybody's indoors, and now we're pushing hard for everybody to be in fancy housing. It's when this one's done, we should have no harpies living in normal housing anymore. Okay, and that gives everybody enough resolve to survive the storm without needing any special handholds, which is good. Makes my life a lot easier. Let's pull the woodcutters camp over to here and open up the area right behind the hearth. That's the trapper camp. I didn't actually want that to move. The woodcutters camp down to here and open up all that stuff. And that we'll get our advanced district going that way. Alright, so if they can get the resources there within... Jesus, those are some fucked resolve levels. Did we really jump that high? We totally did. Okay. We can reduce hostility temporarily by unassigning woodcutters, right? If I cut... Okay, if we... Hold on, can I leave one? I can leave one. Okay. Yeah, the forest hates us just having woodcutters in place. So if they can get the goods up there... Okay, cool. We're gonna... They ran the oil up with remarkable speed. So they're gonna get that done before we get the threat going off even once. Great news. Strange roots spread across the land. Wood production is up, but harvesting and planting are slower. I think that would be a very bad idea for us in our current situation. Gain 1 reputation point every time you sell goods worth 60 amber, but fulfilling orders is worth less reputation. That's a terrible deal for us. Rumor has it that your settlement is one of the wealthiest in the realm. Newcomers arrive quicker and bring more goods for every 1 level of standing you have with other settlements on trade routes. Okay, so we haven't really looked at the standing mechanic, but basically when you run a trade route to another settlement, you know, it increases a bar, and at certain thresholds you get some value. I honestly don't think any of these are any good, but I will take economic migration. It's the only one that doesn't harm us in some way. And then... Yeah, we already have housing built for you and you, so this seems like a winner to me. Actually, we have enough housing for everybody? Right, because we have 9 harpy houses. Yeah, enough fancy housing for everybody. We don't have to build anything. Okay, well. That being the case, we've got our dangerous glade thing under control. You know what? Let me let this run out. I was going to end the episode. But I want to let this run out so that I remember to assign my woodcutters before the end of the episode, because I'm worried that if I save while we're still down woodcutters, I won't remember to to assign them. Okay, we have 9 people who are not set up. I think let's go ahead and rebuild the tinctury. I'll just run out there and get that done. I probably will want there to be a mine on these deposits eventually, so maybe we can maybe we can move stuff around here, make this work now. Okay, because if we're gonna build the mine like here on this 3x3, we want the road to run a little bit differently. Let's break that, set up that mine. We can just put the stonecutters camp right next to it, I guess. Run the path right past them. There we go. And I think we definitely want to set up a warehouse out here. Yeah, okay. Cannot wait to have all of my hostility back. I guess the thing is, I really want the beavers focused on wood cutting. Okay, so with that run out, we can put these other 2 beavers here. Yeah, there we go. We can set up some basic decorations here. Let's put down a park right there. Hold on. Please remove this tree. This tree is in my way. Okay. Now, go back to opening up the area in a more general sense. But that tree had to get out of the way so that we could build a garden right next to our park. And that will be the decorations necessary to upgrade this hearth to a neighborhood, which will get us advanced district. We got this resolved, and now it's just a matter of running the resources back home, which is happening. And we'll decide what to do with this later. I think this now is a good place to stop. We've kind of figured some things out, and already I am feeling considerably more sanguine about this settlement than I was about the last one. So I guess we'll see if that choice of words ends up being as ominous as it sounds like it might have been. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are preparing for the seal, and we'll see you then.